because that's what I have to do first. I have to make the friggin' soy milk before I can even make the tofu. Like, what was I thinking with this?
I fed him some peanuts. Let's see if he can find them. Babe, if you're watching this, I did not feed him peanuts.
Okay, so literally I cannot do anything small. I have been wanting to make my own tofu from soybeans for a really long time. And so what better time than when we're locked in the house for months on end to do some projects that you've been meaning to do, right? So I ordered soybeans, and I guess I didn't realize what 13 pounds actually looked like. So I have a ton of soybeans. Now here's the other thing about it. I do this all the time, and I tell you guys I do this all the time. I get an idea in my head, mostly for recipes. Well, actually that's not true. It's pretty much for everything. Garden project, you know, like whatever it is that I want to do, and I do a little bit of research, and I might look at a video or a couple of articles on the internet and go, all right, I totally got this, like no big deal. And now that I'm actually looking at how to execute the tofu recipe, I'm like, well, wait a minute. It's not really from soybeans per se, it's from soy milk. So I actually could have just bought cartons of soy milk to then make my tofu, which would have been way easier because I'm already in this project. I'm already like knee deep in this project. I started soaking my beans last night, and if you look at any recipe for how to make your own tofu, typically it's like take 1 cup of dried soybeans if you're going to do it from the soybeans. Otherwise you just, you know, boil up your soy milk, add the coagulant, and you've got tofu in probably less than an hour. But here I am on day 2 already after soaking not 1 cup of soybeans but 6. So here I am with 1 giant pot of half of my soybeans that have been soaked overnight, and number 2 giant pot of soybeans that have been soaked overnight. Soybeans are all over the house. It's unbelievable. I was in the living room before, and there was like soybeans on the rug. I'm like, how did that even happen? So my 6 cups of dried soybeans have turned into about 12 cups of soybeans. And now that I look closer into these how to make your own tofu recipes, I'm finding that you really only need 1 cup of soaked soybeans, and I've got about 12. Hey, free bag of soybeans with the purchase of my cookbook. So we've got tofu for months, which actually is not a terrible thing. Like, I love tofu, so I actually hope it comes out good, because if so, I'm ahead of the game, right? Now, I've been watching a couple of videos. Yay me, finally I did it the right way. I read a couple articles and I was like, oh yeah, that's so easy. But then once you get down to actually doing it, it's like, okay, what really am I doing? I went and watched a video by this Korean lady. I've seen her before doing other things. What the heck is her name? I call her Manchichi. Manchichi, Manchichi, la 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 la. She is so cute and adorable, and I love watching her, and I will link below, and maybe you guys have seen her before. She did a really well done video explaining how to make your own soy milk, because that's what I have to do first. I have to make the friggin' soy milk before I can even make the tofu. Like, what was I thinking with this? I always do take the hard way around, but that's how you learn the most. I've always said that. You can't learn unless you make a lot of mistakes. So this wasn't necessarily a mistake. It's just the long way to making your own tofu. So first of all, I have to make my own soy milk. You actually have to get the skins off your soybeans, which would take me a billion years if I had to pop them off one by one. So again, Manchichi's recipe for how to do this, make the soy milk, she explains it really well. And I was like, oh, okay, that's totally easy. Well, I've been standing here for an hour going back and forth with trying to get the skins off my soybeans the way that she showed me, but of course she only had 1 cup and I have 12. And then I read somewhere else that said you do not have to take the skins off your soybeans to make the soy milk, because you're gonna just blend it all and then strain it through a nut bag anyway. But I want to do it the right way, and I do want to take as much skins off as I possibly can. I've gotten a lot of skins off already. I'm telling you, I've been doing this for like an hour already before I even started filming. I will never complain about paying $2.50 for a quart of soy milk again. See how less and less is being left behind because I have literally done this for half the afternoon already. Okay, that's a lie. It's been an hour. Now I go ahead and squish around this pot, try to get off as many skins as I possibly can. They float to the top. It is a bit therapeutic. So if you do have some time on your hands, I was just sort of thinking a lot and daydreaming as I'm squishing my soybeans and getting the skins off. Okay, this might be the last time I do this because there's really not a lot coming off at this point. But you can kind of see how the loose skins will float off and the beans stay behind. You get a couple beans that fall in there. Yeah, see, this isn't really that much left over. I'm gonna call it a day here. It's just a raw bean. I gotta cook them first before I eat them. All right, so I'm already kind of screwing up. I mean, not really. I actually started my soybeans and water boiling before I started the video, and then I never set the timer, and she specifically was like, boil 15 minutes, no more, no less. And I'm like, okay, how long did I have it boiling already? So I think it was already going for like about 6 minutes. So I just told Alexa to go, never mind, 9 more minutes. So that should be close to 15 minutes. So it's boiling. I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit. Oh yeah, how many of you guys were totally annoyed by this in the first part of the video? I just watched some of the playback. I was like, look at that mangled up sweatshirt string. There's a story behind this mangled up sweatshirt string though. Before I got Ted, my lovely Ted, I had my heart set on a cat at PetSmart. He actually was black and white, just like Ted. And so I wanted to adopt this cat, and I put in my application. This was all the way back in, Sophie died in a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. And so I think it was like around the second week of December, like the mid of December, like a month after that, I decided I really wanted to get another cat. So I went to PetSmart. And they work with Lost Paws, and not going to say anything good about them because my experience with this organization was absolutely terrible. I put in my application because I really wanted this cat. Like, I went there every day, sometimes twice a day, to visit with these cats that were just like stuck in these cages. It's heartbreaking, and I wanted to take all of them home with me. But I would sit there and I would play with each one and talk to each one and kind of get an idea of the personalities. And there was this one cat there, his name was Ginger. And I actually had my heart set on getting an orange cat because I love orange cats. They have such great personalities. And he was a little bit scared, but he would come. He would, every time he heard my voice, and I, you know, maybe it wasn't just me, it was maybe all the people that would go visit the cats. But whenever he would hear my voice, I'd go, hi, Ginger. And he'd come running out because he would hide in his litter box. And I would put I was wearing this sweatshirt pretty much every day. And so I would put my sweatshirt string through the cage so that he could play with it, and he chewed it up and mangled it up, and that's why this thing looks the way that it does. And I don't know, it was sentimental to me, and I don't know, I'm not a fancy girl, so I don't really care that it looks like crap. I wear the sweatshirt still all the time. So anyway, the Lost Paws story was that I put in my application. And, you know, I understand that the adoptions only happen on the weekends. And so week 1 goes by and I didn't hear anything from anybody. And I even went there on that first Saturday after I had put my application in. And I said, like, I was excited. I wanted this cat. Like, how long do I have to wait for a cat, you know? And so they, you know, it's a bunch of volunteers, and I get it, and I'm not trying to say anything against the volunteers. It really was very chaotic, and it didn't seem like any one person knew what the other person was doing, and they'd have these big giant cat adoptions on every Saturday and Sunday. And I was just like, okay, I put my application in, I'm here, I want this cat, like, what's the deal? Oh, well, we're not the people that you talk to, it's got to go through the board, and they've got to do a credit check, which I totally get, because you don't want creepy, weird, disgusting people adopting these animals, right? So I totally get that part of it, but then it's like, okay, it's week 2, I still haven't heard anything. I go back again because all during the week when I go, there's really nobody there. It's just the cats in the cages, and an occasional cage cleaner is there, and they don't know what's going on with the adoption process. So week 2 goes by and it's like, okay, what's the deal? I still haven't heard anything. I'm emailing, I'm calling, I'm like crazy cat person. Like, not really. I just want, like, you would think you're trying so hard to adopt out these cats. Why aren't you moving these cats? Now it's going on week 2 that I'm seeing these same cats in the same cages in this same store, and they've been in there for months. And every time I'd go in to visit the cats, some other people would come in and he'd strike up conversation, and like 3 or 4 people said they had the same experience, and they were like, yeah, I'm trying to get this cat and I haven't heard anything. And then another girl came in and she was like, yeah, I have my heart set on this cat, but nobody's calling me back. So it's really weird. And this went on for over 3 weeks and I still hadn't heard anything. And I was getting pretty irate because, first of all, you get crazy seeing these cats in these cages, and they're starting to get a little bit cage crazy. I mean, for them to be in there for months on end, half a year, some of them a year, in this tiny little cage, like, it's heartbreaking. So I was getting pretty pissed. And finally I went to another adoption, 3rd week in a row, and I was like, okay, what's the deal? Like, why can't I take this cat home? My application has been in for 3 weeks. I've had cats my whole life. I have the same veterinarian for 20 plus years. Like, what is the deal? So I don't know what the deal was, but it's pretty ironic that the very next day that I made a stink in the store with the adoption people, that I got an email the next day saying I was denied. So anyway, that was my experience with Lost Paws. Doesn't make any sense to me. There's tons of people trying to adopt out these cats, and I couldn't get one to a good home. But I did get Ted, and perhaps that was the reason. I don't know the reason for that, but maybe the universe was holding me out for Ted. And I got Ted a couple weeks later at Tabby's place up in Ringo's, New Jersey. Excellent, excellent place. I absolutely recommend adopting a cat out from that cat sanctuary. It was wonderful, and I do love Ted so much, and I'm so glad that I got him. Alexa, how much time is left?
You have 1 minute left on your 9-minute timer.
Perfect timing. Ooh, and look at all of those skins that came up to the top. Yeah, so I saw that in the playback when I just looked at my first clip that I did, and I was like, what is that? Oh, that's my mangled up string from Ginger. I was like, how many people with OCD watching my videos is like, what the heck is that? Get that off. What kind of a sweatshirt are you wearing, you crazy person of Walmart, right? Oh my God, it's like skins for days. This is crazy. So I guess doing it this way, now I can see where all the water comes from in the processing of all these milks. You know that you hear that, you're like, oh, almond milk's not vegan because it uses such a ton of water. Well, first of all, it doesn't use anything near what it takes to make a cow into a hamburger, but we'll leave that for another conversation. But I can see, I mean, in the processing of any kind of food, I guess, it's going to take a lot of resources. So unless you're growing your own beans, saving your own rainwater in the backyard, and processing your own food, right? Good. I like them. I love beans though. All right, so that's my 2 cups of beans boiled. So now I'm going to put 6 cups of water because she only did half. Oh my God, the math is killing me. Salt is optional. I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm going to taste it and then see. I might want to put the salt in when I make the actual tofu. Alright, so that was like a minute. Oh, this seal is so good. Smells beany. Now here's the thing, I don't have my nut bag or any cheesecloth. Like, I am so not prepared for this project. What is wrong with me? I have such total brain fog lately. I gotta have some coffee. You know what though, Manchi didn't strain hers. She just drank it straight up. It Ooh, that looks good, actually. Ooh, I just made soy milk. You know, the thing is with me though and milk, like I never liked milk. Even way since I was born, I hated milk. Like I thought it was the most disgusting thing ever to drink. So I never was somebody who just drank like a glass of milk. I thought it was gross. And so I never was one to ever want to drink plant milk like that either. So I mainly stick to plant milk for my coffee and my cereal and my baking. So don't go by me because I don't like to drink plant milk anyway. Ooh, and it's warm. Ugh. And it kind of tastes like bean water. That does nothing for me. Let me taste the carton soy milk. Hey, there's a spider in here. Get in here, you. You're going outside. Oh yeah, gotta put him. Ah, no, stay. Stay, we have to go outside. Okay, we saved him. All right, so here's some carton soy milk. That's way better. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. I never did that before. Like I said, I was never somebody who wanted to drink milk in the first place, so then why would I go vegan and then start drinking milk? Like, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, mine doesn't taste like that. Oh well, it's for tofu anyway. But I suppose if I did put a little sugar in it and a little bit of salt, it would probably taste better. However, I do buy unsweetened soy milk, so I'm not sure what's the deal there. Anyway, we've got our soy milk for tofu, but it does have to be strained, and I know that. So, well, I mean, I'm not even there yet. Like, we have to boil this, put a coagulant in it, like, it's a whole thing. So I'm gonna just store this in the fridge. Once my nut bags get here, we'll proceed with the recipe. I gotta work out anyway, so this was just like holy part 1 of how to make your own soy milk, like craziness. All right, anyway, yeah, I made soy milk, that's awesome. So I went on to film for hours, even after this. I did my workout, started the veggie burger, finished the veggie burger actually, and really thought that I was going to get all of this vlog stuff into one video. And this one alone of me just making soy milk chaos is already almost 20 minutes long. So if I kept going with my vlogs that I take you along with in my day, I mean, we'd be filming for hours, and nobody's got that attention span for me, I don't think. So we're gonna pick up part 2 of my soy milk catastrophe when my nut bags arrive, and also I ordered some gypsum for the coagulant because I wanted to do it 2 ways. Some people say that lemon juice is totally fine, and some people say you haven't lived until you made tofu with gypsum. So I ordered that too, so who knows when that's going to arrive. My 2-day Prime shipping has turned into like a month. So we'll pick that up again when I get all of my stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and make a completely separate video for the vegan veggie burger. You guys, the burger is life. It came out so good. Spoiler alert, I probably shouldn't have said that, but yeah, you're going to want to check out that. I just have to edit that whole thing, and it'll probably be like another day or 2. So yeah, we're going to call this one a day. And hope you guys are loving these vlogs. I am totally loving making them. They are totally keeping me sane through this whole thing. I mean, I think the gyms aren't going to be opening up until August here in New Jersey. So, like, seriously, not only is that my paycheck, but that's my job and what I love to do every day. And so, yeah, still locked in for God knows how long. Let me know below how you guys are holding up. I have a feeling a lot of other states besides New Jersey and New York are kind of getting back to semi-normal, whatever that even means. So comment below. I'd love to see how you guys are doing, what you're doing, how you're making out, what you've been doing to keep yourselves sane through all of this. And yeah, just thanks a lot for watching my video. I totally love this with you guys, and we'll pick it up again probably tomorrow if I can get that other video edited by then. So, all right, much love to you guys. I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now. You guys, this was like soybean insanity just now. Like, seriously, why couldn't I have done my first test recipe with 1 cup of soybeans? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 cups of soybeans right here, not to mention the 2.5 I used for my first batch of soy milk. Like, what is wrong with me? These are going into the freezer, so it's not like a loss at all. It's just that I create so much work for myself all the time, and I don't know why I do that. Why can't I just keep it simple? Manchi was like, oh, it's so easy, you're gonna love making it.